So I recently had a birthday, and now I'm officially in my late 30s. And after falling into a depressive episode and rewatching most of One Piece, here I am, once again, trying to write a novel. Because I realized if I were to die tomorrow, the one thing I would regret would be not having published a novel that I'm proud of. Mostly because I've already told my mother that if I should die before her, I wish to have my remains be used to create a copy of the novel I am most proud to have written. And since I'm not getting any younger, if I want my wishes to be honored, I kind of need to write a book. And not just a book, but a book that I'm actually proud to put out into the world. I've always thought of writing as a way to leave a piece of myself behind, a way to leave a legacy. And I mean, sure, you could do that with anything. You could do it with art, you could do it with nonfiction. I mean, I've created some tarot decks and written some tarot books, and that's cool and all, but like a novel, there's just something different about a novel. Whether it's just that people read it and like it, or people read it and don't like it and talk shit about it on the internet, or if it gets turned into a graphic novel or an anime or a TV show or a movie. Yes, those would be great, and that would be super awesome if it happened. I would love to have me a Lee Bardugo moment and have Netflix adapt my books into TV shows. That'd be great. But at the same time, even if it's just like a handful of people who name my novel in a list of their, all-time favorite books, to those handful of people, even if I die tomorrow, I will be with them forever. Mostly, I just want to be remembered for something. Other than, well, if I write a novel, at some point I'm going to be remembered for being a weirdo, but something other than that. Like a weirdo who did something. I just sat in a room being weird. I don't know. So, I've come back to writing, and I left for a while. It's been nearly a decade since I finished the first draft of a novel, and that was for NaNoWriMo. So, yeah, it kind of feels like I'm starting over from stage one. But at the same time, in that decade, I have been reading and watching stories and taking all of this stuff in, and also, just living life and experiencing things. I've been taken care of and have lost family members. I've ended relationships and decided that I don't want to start more. I don't know why I'm telling you that. But getting back to writing is something that I'm both excited about and terrified of, because I know that I probably haven't gotten over the issues that stopped me from writing in the first place. Like, on the outside, it would be the fact that I get way too caught up in world building and story structure. And that's mostly just because I love those things. I love building worlds and creating maps, even though I'm bad at it. And, coming up with cultures and religions and customs and all that good stuff. And with story structure, it's like, I just find it endlessly fascinating how many different types of story structure paradigms there are. Like, everybody and their mom has come up with a way to structure a story, and it's all the same shit. Like, literally all of it. It's all the same shit. It's just funny to me. But then trying to use every single paradigm to make sure that my book is perfectly plotted, because I am a perfectionist and I do have this false belief that if I don't do something right the first time, I failed and I'm a failure and everyone hates me and something bad will happen. Which, as a writer, is probably the least helpful belief to have. So there's that. But yeah, I need to write my death book. Which I feel like I'm just gonna call it that now. No, I'm not gonna do that because that's just gonna add even more pressure on myself. Because if I'm writing this book with the belief that I have to make it perfect because it's gonna be the book that immortalizes me on this fucking planet, I'm gonna drive myself insane, or more insane than I already am. Yeah. So I've gotten back into writing, and at the same time I've gotten back into YouTube. I was doing world building and then switched over to game development over on my old channel. I'll link it down below in case you want to check it out. But this time I'm using a real government name, and I plan to use this channel as a way to stay accountable and to share my progress and my process and the pitfalls and the other word that starts with a P that I can't think of right now when it comes to writing. I want to write novels. I want to get a novel published, either self-publishing or like traditionally publishing would be great. Of course, I'm going to have to deal with all of that, but we'll leave that for future Adana. So, I'm Adana. This is my new channel, and if you're into writing and watching a fellow author struggle, feel free to hit subscribe. You can also find me on Threads and Blue Sky, where I'll probably just be sharing whatever random thought pops into my head. Most of it is about writing though, I think, or anime, or me being hungry. You get what you get. So, until next time, stay weird and right, I guess.